Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins 0. In the last episode, Rintaro wanted to stay on the Alpha World line just a moment longer. However, Kurisu was insistent that he return to the Beta World line, a world line where Mayuri Shina is alive, and she is not. Of course, back on the Beta World line, soon basically at the bottom of the food chain once again. Strat 4, America and Russia are once again fighting over the time machine research. Amadeus is still in existence.
いや、大丈夫だ。
All is essentially as it was before we shifted. Mayuri.
お薬飲みますか?
We should probably accept.
心配ない。
Rukuko. And
Hontou? 無理しちゃダメだよ.
Kaguri Shina. Come to think about it, we never really wondered how Kaguri fits into the Alpha World line. Not that we can really ask that question now, given that we're back in the Beta World line. But as I thought, now that I've had a chance to compare the two, you can definitely say that Kaguri Shina is not Kurisu Makase. No matter what our initial impressions were. Kaguri Shina. If Mayuri and Kaguri were here, that meant I was back to the Beta World line.
ちょっと腹が減っただけだ。朝から何も食べてなくてな。
Probably shouldn't dwell on Kaguri's involvement in the Alpha World line.
もうオカリンさんたらダメだよ。ちゃんとご飯は食べなきゃ。ダルおじさんみたいに大きくなれないよ。
Nobody wants to be that big, Kaguri.
ああ、なるくらいなら一食抜いた方がマシだよ。
Huh.
だったらマユシーが何か作ってあげるよ。え、ママが作れるの？もう、かがりちゃんまでそういうこと言うんだから。これでもね、最近はユキさんにお料理教えてもらってるんだよ。
It seems that Mayuri is, well, planning to cook a meal. Or cook a meal, I should say. Sorry for the slight slur there. But, speaking of Yuki, we're probably gonna have to talk to her at some point. Because she's been
じゃあ
absent.
僕が手伝うから。
待ってくれ。
Not that we don't trust your cooking or anything.
すみません。僕手伝わない方がいいですか？
いや、そうじゃない。そうじゃないんだ。
I looked around at everyone and then back at Kaguri.
かがりさん。
やだなオカリンさん。私のことはかがりでいいって言ってるのに。
Something was different. Looks like we're not exactly back on the exact beta world line once again. Close, but there are still a few
じゃあ
odd differences.
かがり、さっきマユリのことを何て呼んでたか聞いてもいいか？
なんてってママだよ。
Wait. We never told Mayuri about that.
どうして？
どうしても何もママはママだもんね、ママ。
Well, it's true that in the beta world line of World War III, Mayuri did adopt Kaguri Shina in the future. But of course, in the Alpha World line, with CERN ruling over everything, World War III never really happened. And of course, on the Alpha World line, since Mayuri Shina dies thanks to worldline convergence, that means she's not there to adopt Kaguri in the far future. Which explains why Kaguri is not with Suzuha in the Alpha World line. But as I just said, we never told Mayuri about this.
やっぱりそう呼ばれるのちょっと照れちゃうな。
Something is really strange here. I felt vaguely dizzy watching Mayuri fidget in embarrassment.
知ってるのか？二人とも未来の世界で親子だってことを。
かがりちゃんのことはオカリンが教えてくれたんだよ。
俺が？
Yeah, I don't remember telling you about that because, we didn't.
本当のことを知っておいた方がいいってね。
Why do I feel like we just skipped over an entire sequence of events?
ね
I mean, we were going to tell you, but somehow we've told you without actually physically telling you. Did I really tell them? Apparently on this world line we did. Did I tell them something so important?
じゃあもしかしてルカ子も？
Haruka figured it out. We didn't need to tell
ごめんな
him.
さい。僕聞くつもりはなかったんですけど耳に入ってしまって。
Can't really blame Ruka for putting two and two together and connecting the dots. Rukako lowered his head in apology.
あ、でも大丈夫です。他の人には言ってませんし。それ
Seems
に
like we're the only ones who know.
僕ちょっとだけ嬉しかったんです。皆さんと秘密を共有できて。
And Ruka's happy at not being kept out of the loop this time.
本当は直接教えてもらえればよかったんですけど。
Even Ruka knew about Mayuri and Kaguri. Which meant that, of course...
でも驚きました。タイムマシンとか未来とかお話の世界のものだって思ってたんですけど、実現できるなんて
Neither Rintaro nor Suzuha ever told Ruka about the time machine. Something strange is happening. He knew about the time machine. Evidently I hadn't simply come straight back from the Alpha World line. I was in a world line slightly different from the one I'd been in before. The divergence meter I'd used before was gone now. That means I didn't have a precise number, but this all felt very different. The problem was finding out what was the same as the old world line and what was different.
Kagari, もう少し質問させてほしい。
Need to get to the heart of the matter.
何？
Indeed, her voice, her mannerisms, they are completely unlike Kurisu Makase's in every way. And yet, the only thing she has in common are her hair and eyes. I wonder. I showered Kaguri with questions in an effort to find out what was going on. Here's what I learned. First, Kaguri retained her memories of her childhood. In other words, of the year 2036. Does that mean that she regained her memories? She knew Mayuri, Daru, Suzuha, and also Ferris and Rukiko. Or could it be the slight shift in divergence could that mean that she never had amnesia to begin with? But as for what the world of 2036 was like, and how she became Mayuri's daughter, she hadn't told them the details about that. Does she still have amnesia, or is she deliberately keeping that from them? Fortunately, they hadn't seemed interested in knowing about their futures. Everyone always thinks they'd want to know what their future holds. But when the chance finally comes, fear outweighs your curiosity. The future wasn't always a happy thing. Knowing the future might destroy your dreams. It might be a death sentence, like it was for me. Some people would lose all sense of meaning in their lives if they knew there inevitably was going to be a war in which 5 billion people died. You're not wrong there.
それじゃあ、ここに来たのはルカ子の家に居候したのがきっかけで間違いないな。
If the world line hasn't shifted too much from before.
っていうか、オカリンさんがママと引き合わせてくれたんだよ。覚えてないの？
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだが、一応確かめておこうと思ってな。
Never mind our nervousness.
一応ね。変なオカリンさん。
Kaguri going missing had happened almost exactly as I remembered it. The same was true of how she'd came to us. And
行方不明になっていた間はどこで何をしていたのか全然覚えていないのか。
綺麗さっぱり。気づいたらお寺で寝かされてた。
seems like she still doesn't remember when she was missing in those 12 years. she was still missing some of her memories too. In other words, sorry, in this world line, the only memories she had were of her childhood and the last few weeks she'd spent since she'd woken up in the Chiba Mountains. The most important part was still missing. Was there anything else I needed to ask? I was staring at the floor trying to think when I realized that something was missing.
Yuka ga kirei da.
さっき岡部さんが来る前に掃除しておきました。
いや、そうじゃなくて、床に小さな穴が開いてたはずなんだが。
Indeed, the hole where one of the masked intruders, they shot a bullet into the floor.
床に穴ですか？
But it looks like that didn't happen on this world line. The lab had been attacked just last night. I remember it vividly. And there's the bullet hole with the gunpowder. And yet, strangely, that's not there. So did the events change slightly? Probably. But how have they changed? In other words, what exactly happened last night? During the attack, one of their bullets had left a dark hole in the floor as a warning shot. So what about the attack?
ちなみに、お前たち昨日はその
Of
どう
course,
だっ
we
た？
can't really tell them about that without being conspicuous.
昨日のパーティーのことすっごく楽しかったよ。
So, somehow, for some reason, last night's attack never happened.
あんなに楽しかったの私初めてだった。
Well, it's a bit of a shame that we weren't really there to see it, since, you know, we were held hostage. They wouldn't say if there had been an attack, which meant that the attack had never taken place. Was no one after Kaguri in this world line? No, it was too early to assume that. And we know now that K6205 refers to the refers to the magic flute. I still didn't know what had happened when she'd gone missing. Until I did, I couldn't say for sure if she was safe. Just like how sometimes Mayuri's death would occur on different days in the Alpha World line, the same thing might happen a few days later. In fact, it would be better to be cautious. Wise words indeed.
またみんなでパーティーしたいね。
その時は僕も何か作るよ。
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to it.
私も手伝う。
They all started happily talking about last night's party. first glance it was a peaceful scene. But something sinister might be happening and I just didn't know it. No, I knew something had to be happening. The fact that the world line was changing was proof. Why had it changed anyway? It is a very good question, and a riddle that we need to solve as soon as possible. I thought back to the events of that night. First, someone had taken over Amadeus. Amadeus Kurisu had called me and asked for help. The word line had changed right after I'd answered, which meant that the key was Amadeus? Once again, how is an artificial intelligence related to time travel? Did Amadeus have something to do with the world line change? And what about the group who'd attacked Kaguri? Was it all connected? Maybe I needed to find out. Maybe we do. Maybe we should. Rather.
ところでかがりちゃん、時間大丈夫？
And that's right, Kaguri is going to be working with Suzuha downstairs at the Brawn Tube workshop.
あ、いっけない。休憩時間終わってた。店長に怒られちゃう。
Yeah. And you don't want Tanuji mad at you for any reason.
ということは、バイトしてるのか？
そうだよ。下のブラウン管工房で。ってこの前言ったじゃん。
And this we should already know because we were the ones who suggested this in the first place.
そうだったか。
In the old world line, Kaguri had started working for Tanuji after the attack. That was another difference, so even though the attack never happened, Kaguri is still working at the Brawn Tube workshop.
もう今日のオカリンさんはボケボケだね。しっかりしてよ。
すまない。
We're definitely a bit out of sorts, but then world lines can do that to a person. Kaguri hopped up and skipped out of the room. Still acting like a 10-year-old, even though she's 22. Her words and mannerisms were much more childish than they had been in the last word line. It seems that the more she regains her memories, the more her childish personality starts bubbling to the surface.
頑張ってね。はーい。それじゃ行ってきます。
Yeah, they definitely grow up so
かがり、
fast these
戻る前
days.
にもう一つだけ聞かせてくれ。
But we have one more question before she leaves. I asked one final question to Kaguri, who was now giving a crisp salute.
アマデウスという言葉を聞いて何か思い当たることはないか？
アマデウス？
Kaguri seems to think for a moment.
ごめん、わかんないや。
So, she doesn't know about Amadeus, either the artificial intelligence or the composer, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
そうか。
In other words, she has no clue. She didn't look like she was lying or being sarcastic. She must really not have known. I watched her leave the lab, then took out my phone. There was another thing I needed to check, now that we're on the beta world line. What was happening with Amadeus? I looked for the icon on my screen. It's still gone. Amadeus. The AI that held Kurisu Makase's personality and memories. And the application which started the program. But the program was gone. How? Why? What has changed?
悪かったな。こんなところに呼び出して。
Well, at least Maho's still in Japan.
別に構わないわ。ちょうど近くまで来てたから。
Yeah, we need to speak to you about Amadeus. After seeing the icon missing on my phone, I'd contacted Maho immediately. My goal, of course, was to see what was going on with Amadeus in this world. I had to find out.
で、話って？
アマデウスのことだ。
Maho's eyes suddenly went wide. Her reaction surprised me as well. I'd simply said the word Amadeus.
あなた、どうして知ってるの？
So you're telling me that for some reason the events of November 2011 never happened?
どうしてってどういうことだ？
どうしてあなたがアマデウスのことを知ってるのよ？
So for some reason Rintaro Okabe isn't a tester on this world line.
だってあのプロジェクトは去年の夏クリスの事件があったあの後に凍結されたのよ。
Wait. Put on hold? What for?
凍結された？アマデウスが？
Maybe... I don't want to believe it, but maybe Kurisu's D-mail might be the cause.
凍結ってことはつまりプロジェクト自体打ち切られたってことか？
That is a big worldline change.
はっきり言ってしまえばそういうことね。
In other words, no Amadeus Maho, and no Amadeus Kurisu. She clenched her fists in anger, and yet Maho is still in Japan. For some reason, that hasn't changed. It seemed that the change in this world line was a big one.
で、さっきの質問。どうしてあなたがアマデウスのことを知ってるの？
Well, looks like we're going to have to be honest about it because Amadeus was never published in any science magazine.
それは
But of course, as far as Maho from this world line is concerned, the events of the past never happened. Should I tell her about the world lines and attractive field theory? But wait, if the Amadeus seminar never happened, then how did Rintaro ever meet up with Maho in the first place?
クリスから聞いたんだよ。大学の先輩がそういう研究をしてるって。
Yeah, probably should have asked Kurisu about Amadeus when we had the chance.
クリスが？あの子、あなたにそんな話までしていたのね。
So that conversation never happened either. I decided that it wasn't the time to tell her. If I tried to explain everything, I'd have to tell her about D-mail and the time machine. Maho didn't seem to know about all that just yet. I could imagine what she'd do if she heard the truth. She was yet another of those people who are entranced by the possibilities of science.
なあ、アマデウスが凍結されたっていう話、もう少し詳しく教えてくれないか？ 理由は何だったんだ？
なんでも外部団体からクレームが入ったんですって。
An outside group, you say?
人の記憶を人工知能に持たせるのは人間の複製を作り出すのと同じこと。神のみに許される所業だって。
I think we heard that rhetoric before from the heckler who had been brainwashed. But that man was brainwashed by none other than Alexis Leskinen himself. But Leskinen actually needs the Amadeus system for his own purposes, so I doubt that he's involved in this, because that would be extremely counterproductive to his plans.
欧米って自分たちの価値観で物を言う人が多いのよね。特にそういうデリケートな部分は。
Sad to say, Maho, I know exactly how you feel about
理
this.
由はそれだけなのか？
ええ、少なくとも私はそう聞いてるわ。いきなり研究は中止だって言われて、教授たちも随分怒ってた。
I imagine he must have been upset, really upset. The Amadeus program was stopped. It looks like we've got a message on Rhine. From Rukugo. Okabe, there's something I want you to tell me. Shouldn't you ask your dad? You okay with asking me? Ask Mayuri. We're going to be frank with him. I believe we owe him that much. You okay with asking me? Yes, I think you can give me good advice. I don't want you expecting too much. What kind of gift do you think a father would enjoy? Oh, so he's asking something completely different. Your father, huh? I think the darkness within him goes very deep. The darkness? Probably shouldn't let Ruka know about that. A black handkerchief? Maybe that would be a good idea. Yeah, maybe. A handkerchief. Great, I'll do that, but why black? I think your dad probably likes black. For real. Thank you, Rokabe. And back to the problem at hand with the cancellation of Amadeus. Did that have something to do with the worldline change too? Probably. Wait. So how did I meet Maho? We'd originally met at the Amadeus seminar. If that never happened...
どうしたの?
Of course, the moment we ask her, she's only going to get even more suspicious.
いや、その思い出してたんだ。君と出会った時のことを。
ああ、あの時のこと。ああいう偶然ってあるのね。
Yeah. Coincidence. I asked a few more questions, taking care not to rouse her suspicions, and managed to learn the basic story. Maho had really wanted to see the place where Kurisu died. That hasn't changed. When she finally went up to the radio building, she'd run into me. Hooray for worldline convergence.
オカルト的な考え方って大っ嫌いだけど、でもあなたと出会えたのはクリスが繋いでくれた縁なのかもしれないわね。
Once again, I wonder how the Alpha Worldline Kurisu would feel if she knew about that. Karma, or perhaps another example of attractive field convergence. Just like in the Alpha World line, despite the fact that certain events change, all the major connections and relationships in Akihabara remain the same. It had already been decided that Maho and I would meet here in Akihabara, at least on this world line. Was there some meaning in that?
そうそう。まゆりさんたちによろしく伝えておいてくれるかしら。昨日は楽しかったって。
So Maho was at the party as well.
ああ、
A party that we have no recollection of. Evidently she'd gone to last night's party in this world line too.
おかげで日本でのいい思い出ができたわ。
思い出って帰るのか？
Well, with Amadeus no longer here, it stands to reason that she doesn't really have any reason to stay in Japan.
すぐにじゃないけどね。言ったでしょ？私今クリスがやっていた研究を引き継いでるの。
Wait a minute. Kurisu's research?
いつまでも日本でバカンス気分を堪能してるわけにもいかないのよ。
Oh, you mean the neuroscience research that she was doing in Mitochondria?
そうか。
But still, she was only in Japan for another 10 days. I'd hoped nothing would happen during that time. It also looks like we're not going to be going to Mitochondria anytime soon. Wonder if that's a blessing in disguise or not. Amadeus had been shut down and no longer existed. No longer would I hear Kurisu's voice. After I said goodbye to Maho, what that meant really started to sink in. I could still feel Kurisu's warmth in my chest. Her smell. All the feelings I'd tried to forget were coming back to me now that I'd seen her. No one will ever be happy in that world line. Everyone will be miserable. That's what she had said. I knew that. That's why I decided to stay here. But that didn't mean I could erase the sense of loss I felt. Some things time cannot erase. I went back to the lab to get all this together in my head. So if the Amadeus research is no longer a thing, that makes me wonder, is Kaguri in this world line a normal child? Does she no longer have the Amadeus codename? If indeed she is connected with Amadeus in the future. The cause of the attack in the last world line was Kaguri, and there was a good chance that Amadeus was involved in the world line change that took place afterwards. But in this world line the lab had never been attacked, and the Amadeus project had been cancelled while it was still in its research stage. Kind of like Nakabachi's lecture on the Alpha world line. That meant the two major factors in the events that had occurred so far no longer existed. If they were gone, maybe there was no need to worry too much. After all, if Amadeus no longer exists, then Leskinen can't use it for his activities over its strategic focus. Judy Reyes no longer has anything to take for her employers, whoever they are. And, But there's still the time machine research to deal with. But even so, there was still a tiny alarm going off in the back of my mind. Why had Amadeus been shut down? What had happened to Kagui's missing memories? If nothing else, I might need to learn the answer to those two questions. Well, I'm going to end this episode of Let's Play Steins Gate here, and when we return, adventurers, we shall go out in search of the answers to the questions that we need to have the answers to. As always, adventurers, until next we meet.